Welcome into the recruiting roundup presented by IBEW Local 640. I'm Claudia Collins, and joining me to wrap up the class of 22 is Cody Cameron. It was tough pickings, but we compiled a list of 5 players that we want to highlight from the 22 class. Cody, I don't know about you, but I think we probably could have come up with 25, but I'll let you kick it off with the first one you want to highlight.
Well, just an absolutely loaded class, Claudia. We're going to start west. We're starting the West Valley. Desert Edge senior interior offensive lineman, Gavin Brocius. He signed with Michigan State in the early signing period. This is a kid I have known since the 8th grade. He was part of Coach Lucero's big man competition out west, and I met him and his father out there when he was in 8th grade. And he's just a nasty road grader. He is a tremendous finisher at the interior level here, and he is going to get after it in the Big Ten Conference. He's going to be a beast there. They love to run the football, and that physicality matches perfectly well.
All right, I'm going to kick it off now with Quinn Adams because he's one of the first guys that really caught my attention this season. And he did that in the Wolves game against Cherry Creek. I just noticed he was super speedy. He's a spark plug for the offense. Let's not forget he was injured as a sophomore, but he had a decent junior season and just blew up his senior year and proved that he's going to be a big time playmaker for the Iowa State Cyclones.
So I started with offensive line. I'm going to move it to the defensive line now. Zach Swanson, one of my favorite defensive players in the 2022 class. He was a monster at Brophy. When you talk about just hand technician and off the snap and what he was able to do, getting to the quarterback, violent hands, fast, active hands, he did it all. His first step is incredibly fast. He signed with Texas, and I think that's a perfect fit. And he's going to be, I already said it. He was a monster at the high school level. I think he's going to be a monster at the college level. Big physical defensive lineman. He's going to be a stud.
Cody, I know these next two are ones that we totally agreed on highlighting. Angel Flores, for me, the first time I got a chance to see him was at the Under Armour Combine, and that was my first chance of seeing the best of the best. And he was exactly that. And he proved that throughout the playoffs as well. He's a true leader. He committed to NAU on December 2nd. And he said throughout the recruiting process, that's the school that fought for him the hardest. And shortly after committing, he went on to lead his team to victory in the 4A state championship. So I'd say he closed out his senior year on a high note.
And I always tell kids, I don't care where you commit. I'm going to root for you no matter what college destination you choose. But, I got to be honest here. I'm an NAU Lumberjack alum. And when he committed and I saw that tweet, I was stoked. I talked to Angel at an NAU Southern Utah game earlier this year, and he said exactly that, Claudia. He said, Coach Aaron Pflugrad, the offense coordinator, he's been recruiting me, heck, longer than any college coach has in this entire recruiting cycle. Coach Ball and company went home, visited Angel, and Angel's parents made him some awesome Mexican food. I remember talking to Coach Ball. He said, heck, not only do we get such a great quarterback, we get a family that just a fantastic cooks. And he was so excited. And those types of relationships and that you build throughout the recruiting process, that stays with the kid. And Angel Flores, competitor, great quarterback, and a state champion heading up to Flagstaff.
Well, let's wrap it up with Christian Anaya. He's just one of those guys that I think was kind of underrated throughout the entire recruiting process. Truly, he's one of the best receivers I'd seen. And I'd argue he might be the best in his class. He seemed to always be around the ball. And he did receive a handful of offers, but he's obviously going to Montana State.
When I looked at Max Prep stats every single week, Christian Anaya, 8 to 9 catches, 100+ yards, at 1 to 2 touchdowns. Against everybody. And he was perfect in that offense. And they utilized a lot of motions and stuff like that to get him and looks that were going to get him open. But it's just separation, his speed. He got bigger this offseason, and he put that work in, and he's going to go play one of the top FCS teams in the country in Montana State. I absolutely love it.
Like I said, we could have easily picked 25 guys, but I'm going to close this out by asking you who you're excited about watching in the class of 23.
Started west, going to end west. We're going to Liberty Lions. They have a defensive lineman, Mikel Gardner. He is a freak of nature. He is such a great football player. I watched him play Quinn Creek, and I kid you not, he must have had 8 or 9 tackles for loss. He's active. He's violent. He gets in the backfield. He just wreaks havoc on offensive linemen, and he's a quarterback nightmare. He has a billion offers already. I just picked up Oregon this week, picked up USC last week. His offer sheet is exploding. This kid should be a 4-star player. He's incredible. He is going to be probably one of the best senior football players in the state next season, and he might be the best defensive player in the entire state.
That's Cody Cameron joining me to highlight some of the best from the class of 2022 on this edition of Recruiting Roundup, brought to you by IBEW Local 640.